I need to tell you something, before your heart gets comfortable. Before you lean back and think this is just another soft story meant to make you smile. This is not that. This is me opening a wound I never planned to show anyone. I still remember the exact moment. Everything broke inside me. I was standing there, holding a future I believed in, when my sister looked at me and said words that felt like they were chosen to hurt me the most. She didn't shout. She didn't accuse. She simply exposed something about the woman I had already chosen in my heart. And in that quiet moment, my chest felt heavy, like the air left me all at once. I know you're listening right now, and maybe you're wondering why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you because I trust you, because I want you to hear this from me, softly, honestly, without masks, and because if you've ever been judged for your past, I need you to stay with me. When my sister spoke, it felt like time slowed down. Her words weren't loud, but they were sharp. She told me about the past of the woman I planned to make my wife, things I had never asked about, things I didn't think I needed to know, because I loved her for who she was with me. I felt my heart sink, not because of what she did before me, but because of how quickly people turn love into a courtroom. I could feel confusion fighting with my feelings. I wanted to defend her immediately, but part of me froze, not because I doubted her, but because I realized how cruel the world can be when it finds something to whisper about. And I wonder, as you listen, have you ever felt that moment where someone tries to rewrite the person you are by bringing up who you once were? I won't lie to you. It shook me. Not in the way people expect, but in a deeper way. I started questioning everything around me, not her. I questioned the idea that love must come with conditions. I questioned why a past becomes a weapon when it belongs to a woman. I questioned why people feel entitled to dig into someone's history as if pain, mistakes, survival, and growth don't exist. And as I stood there listening to my sister, I kept thinking of you. Yes, you, because I know many of you have stories you don't share, chapters you closed quietly, memories you carry without explanation. And I thought, what if someone held those moments against you? Would that make you less deserving of love? That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying everything. I imagined sitting across from her, looking into her eyes, and asking questions I didn't want answers to. Not because I was scared of the truth, but because I was scared of what the truth would make others think. And that scared me even more. I realized how dangerous it is when outside voices start living inside your head. I could feel myself standing at a crossroads, where one path led to protecting the woman I love, and the other led to pleasing people who would never carry my pain. And maybe you've been there too, choosing between your heart and the expectations placed on you. I kept remembering the way she smiles when she feels safe with me, the way her voice softens when she talks about simple dreams, the way she listens to me like my words matter. None of that disappeared just because someone revealed something about her past. Yet I felt the pressure, heavy and unfair, pressing on my chest. I wondered why love is so easily tested by things that existed before it was born. I wondered why nobody asks what someone survived, only what they did. And as I sat alone with these thoughts, I wished I could reach through this screen and tell you that your past does not cancel your softness, your worth, or your right to be chosen fully. The next day, I tried to act normal, but inside me there was a storm. I wanted to talk to her. Not to interrogate, not to accuse, but to understand. I wanted to hear her story in her voice, not through someone else's mouth. Because I realized something important, and I want you to hear this carefully. When someone else tells your story, they remove your emotions from it. They strip away context, pain, and growth. They turn life into headlines. And I refuse to let that happen to her. I refuse to let that happen to you in my heart. When I finally sat with her, my hands were shaking. Not because I was angry, but because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want her to feel exposed, judged, or unsafe. I told her what I heard, gently, honestly, without blame. And when she looked at me, there was fear in her eyes, not guilt. Fear of losing love over something she could never change. And that look broke me, because I realized how many women live with that fear. Every day, the fear that love is temporary, conditional, fragile. And if you're listening right now with that same fear hiding in your chest, I want you to breathe with me for a moment. She didn't defend herself aggressively. She didn't deny her past. She simply told me the truth. Slowly, carefully, like someone handing over something fragile. She talked about choices made when she was trying to survive emotionally. She talked about loneliness, pressure, and moments where she didn't feel protected by anyone. And as she spoke, I didn't see a broken woman. I saw a human being who kept going. I saw strength that came from pain. I saw growth that deserved respect, not punishment. And I wondered why society teaches us to love the result, but judge the process. Even after that conversation, the damage wasn't gone. My sister's words still echoed in my head, not because they were right, but because they reminded me how easily love can be influenced. I hated that part of myself. I hated that I even needed time to process something that shouldn't have mattered. And I'm telling you this because I don't want to pretend I'm perfect. I want to be honest with you. Sometimes love doesn't break because of betrayal. Sometimes it breaks because of fear, planted by others. And if you've ever lost someone because their family couldn't accept your past, I need you to know that the loss wasn't your failure. I kept asking myself late at night, what does it really mean to choose someone? Does it mean loving the version that fits into society's comfort? Or does it mean standing beside them when the world tries to shame them? Every time I imagined walking away, my chest tightened, not because of her past, but because of the future I would lose. A future where she laughs freely, where she trusts deeply, where she feels chosen every single day. And I realized that walking away would not make me strong. It would make me a coward, hiding behind moral excuses. I know some of you listening have been on the other side of this story. Maybe someone you loved looked at you differently after learning something about your past. Maybe they said they needed time, space, or distance. Maybe they never came back, and maybe you blamed yourself. Please listen to me when I say this. Love that disappears after hearing your truth was never meant to hold you. Real love doesn't demand a clean history. It demands honesty, growth, and presence. And you deserve that kind of love. Even now, I'm still processing. I'm still standing in the middle of emotions that don't resolve neatly. Some days I feel strong, ready to protect her from every judgment. Other days I feel tired, worn down by the noise of opinions. And that's why this story doesn't end. Because real love stories don't wrap themselves up beautifully. They stay messy, emotional, unfinished, just like life. Just like the feelings I'm carrying as I speak to you right now. I want you to know that when I look at her, I don't see her past. I see the way she shows up now. I see how she loves deeply, how she cares quietly, how she tries every day to be better. And if someone ever looks at you and chooses to define you by who you were instead of who you are becoming, that says more about their limits than your worth. I'm still standing here, still choosing to feel, still choosing not to turn away from something real just because it's complicated. And as you sit there listening, maybe with your phone closed, maybe with your heart a little tight, I want you to ask yourself something softly. If someone truly saw you, all of you, would you want them to love you for surviving or punish you for learning? Because that question is still sitting with me. It hasn't left. It follows me into quiet moments, into late nights, into every thought about the future I haven't decided on yet. And I stay right here in this feeling. Not closing the door, not giving answers, not pretending certainty, just staying with the emotion, with the honesty, with you, exactly where this story remains open and breathing. There are moments when I sit quietly and I feel like I'm carrying two hearts inside me. One heart wants to protect love at all costs, to stand firm, to say that nothing from the past has the power to touch what I feel right now. The other heart is tired. Not of her, never of her, but of the noise that keeps trying to enter my thoughts. And I want to be honest with you about that. Because honesty is the only thing that keeps this feeling real. I don't want to pretend that love is always brave and fearless. Sometimes love shakes. Sometimes it needs time to breathe. And if you've ever felt guilty for needing that time, I want you to know you're not weak for it. I think about the way you might be listening